about story in my hometown. The story is about Lebay Malang. Long time ago, in a village of West Sumatra, there lived an old man with a wishy-washy character. He was a spiritual teacher, and in their village, the job of a spiritual teacher was known as Lebay. So, people in his village often called him Pak Lebay. The village was located at the river bank, so the main transportation of the villager was boat. It was no different with Pak Lebay. Whenever he wanted to go to any place, he would use his old boat. One day, when he was traveling on his boat, he ran into his neighbor who lived at the headstream side of the river. His neighbor invited him to his solemn wedding party tomorrow. Pak Lebay accepted the invitation and he said that he would come to the party. After that, he continued his trip. He rowed his boat slowly as he imagined that he would get a lot of delicious food tomorrow at his neighbor's party. Suddenly, his boat bumped into another boat and he was so shocked. It turned out that it was his neighbor who lived at the downstream side of the river. Pak Lebay greeted him and asked where he was headed. His neighbor told him that he was actually looking for him because he wanted to invite him to his daughter's wedding party tomorrow. His neighbor also told him that he also provided various takeaway food for all guests who attended the party. Pak Lebay accepted the invitation and he also said that he would come to the party. Actually, Pak Lebay was uncertain which party that he would attend tomorrow. So, he decided to go home and give himself more time to consider it. At night, he sat in front of his house looking at the dark night sky. His mind was still occupied by the talk about the invitation of the two parties. He was confused to decide which party that he would go because both parties have their own attractive point. The party at the headstream side of the river was closer to his house than the party at the downstream side of the river, so he wouldn't spend much energy to row his boat there. But if he went to the party at the downstream side of the river, he would be able to bring back a lot of food. After a couple of hours, he finally decided to go to the party at the downstream side of the river. In the morning, he prepared his boat and then he went toward the downstream. In the middle of the road, he started to feel exhausted, and then he changed his mind and he turned the boat around and went toward the headstream. When he was about to reach the destination, he saw some people rowing their boat to the opposite direction. He stopped them and asked why did they headed to the downstream when they were so close with the location of the party and the headstream. They told him that the food in the party was not delicious, so they left the party sooner. Knowing this condition, Pak Lebay turned his boat around and he rowed it toward the downstream. When he arrived at the location of the party, he was too late because the party was over. He turned his boat around one more time and headed to the party at the headstream. Unfortunately, the party was also over and he didn't get any delicious food at all that day. The story about his misfortune spread among the villager, and started from that day, the villager called him Pak Lebay Malang. Okay, that's all story about Pak Lebay